Oh yeah, La Sombra and Tribune. Uh, yeah, let's continue.
Go on.
So could I just say that they respect me for being an effective ruler and once or twice doing favor for them could be a valid point?
Uh, Potentially. Are you sure you want to commit to La Sombra anti-tribute, though? They are not the largest group.
Yeah, just the people that I think that could respect him. It's hard to come up with something.
So the Zemitsi hate you, and there are essentially three other high clans left, counting your own. La Sombra are the last one, right?
Yeah,
If you can give me a good description of a specific case where, you know, you've been chill with the La Sombra and Tribute, give me a good example. Maybe, if it's good enough. Yes, Bacon?
thinking. I've been all smart enough to think. One has a suggestion.
Well, you could just be attacked in front of one. Show that you're able to survive the social Darwinism they believe in.
So let's say that on a court, someone tried to humiliate me, but I end up uh, purging the arguments against the one that was attacking me, and there was a
Are you able to do that fairly effectively? We need some specifics on there.
He has like 6 charisma.
Oh, sweet.
yeah, probably could just win the social battle against a lot of people.
Okay. So they
So
would respect you, and would they have a reason to come here? Like, what would be your established attitude towards them?
I don't think that would have too much reasons to go here, but besides his being a very efficient ruler and probably if they fight against the Sabbath, uh, he would be fine with them.
I
Someone strong
mean,
enough.
there's a pretty simple way to have this be a fairly decent place for them to go. That's just to openly state that you're willing to accept other high clans that have, turned their back upon the Sabbath. There, that's flower enough, I think.
Okay, and then three Zemitsi show up, shit-eating grins on
It's
their
yet
faces. Yes! They're like, we've changed sides, honest, and that evil smirk on their faces as you know what's coming next.
Oh,
Why would he deny this? He would love this opportunity, right?
yes,
3 more meat wagons.
I just say to them that he's very grateful of their presence and the local premier could show them the city.
Okay, they all take Zulu forms immediately.
Just give the address of the Prince Towers as actually the Tremere Tower.
They walk inside, the room shift under Jackalor's will. They end up in a murder basement.
Alright, so yeah, that is a way to get the La Sombra anti-tribute to come over if you want, because a lot of places don't like them.
Yeah, I think the open statement that any high clan that is against it, that rebelled against the Sabbath could join him would probably do, but I don't think that any Tzimitzi would accept that without he capturing them and giving to the Tremere thing.
I mean, someone would probably send a freshly turned neonate to see if they can infiltrate a spy. See if you're that stupid.
Well, that's why I have what was the name of it? Mysteria.
That only works if they know they're lying.
To be more blunt, that's kind of why I'm around, to a good degree.
Yeah.
But okay, La Sombra anti-tribute, positive opinion. Okay. So, the last negative one, I believe. There's all these peasants running around.
Okay, so
Well,
which
minus on
peasant?
Well, caitiff in general.
Yeah, I don't know which peasant I step on now. I could step on the Bruja, on the caitiff.
Which do you hate more? Rando clans that don't belong in a Camarilla city, caitiff, Bruja.
Alcavian.
Don't step on the Malkavians. I gave some of them some nasty out of clans.
The Malkavians, you would probably see some use on them. And, you know, every court has his lunatic.
Yeah, yours has like 7.
But what he hates more, the Bruja or caitiff?
The question is more, who hates you more?
That's a good point. Which would be more hateful? The group
I
that...
don't know. I think they want to kill you equally.
You
Yeah,
better
because-
hope not all the caitiff want him dead or he is dead.
The point is that everyone treats bad the caitiff, so he being disrespectful to them, it's like, oh, it's just another prince. So probably the Bruja would hate him because he shows no respect for them.
That's every Ventru.
Yeah.
How do you go above and beyond?
He could always just call them dirty peasants.
Okay, you refer to the Bruja clan as dirty peasants. Give us a specific situation where that... Just give us a specific. Just do it.
Okay, so there's him and another group of ventures on the Elysium. He's just talking with them about the situation of some city, and he just says, "Oh yeah, that place is the majority of the population there is these dirty Bruja peasants. I can't believe that a low clan could get so much influence. It's disturbing."
Okay, one of the Bruja in attendance starts foaming at the mouth. And you may certainly take your negative on that. Jesus fuck. So certainly this is not a city that will turn in harmony around its prince.
Nope.
Nope. Not
That's
around this prince.
that's better, I think. More fun for us.
I mean, it's fine. You can always run to Neville City, like in the next state.
Is it much better?
No, but it's not
Ah.
burning. And you can always ask for sanctuary. Okay, so, Bacon, your last positive.
Okay, so that putting another one on the Toreador would be smart.
Okay. How would that work? The Toreador can fucking love him. I made such cunty Toreador this time.
To
Not
be
that...
fair, most of us don't even interact with your regular Toreador. We end up interacting with all of the shitty Toreador most
Hey,
of the time.
Kintia was nice. It's you that were cunty in that exchange, okay?
I accept this. I even accept being the one that ended up trying to kill her, basically.
And yet she survives.
She did. In fact, I think she killed everyone else, and I lived.
I don't think she did.
Didn't she kill like 2 of our players?
She downed Jackalor once, but they didn't give the body to her or something. I don't know. Something weird happened, but I know she just killed Jackalor first time around. And when she was in Rome, you just wrecked her and she was forced to run. Or she couldn't get through and do anything.
I was talking about the time before Rome. I thought she got 2 of us. She
don't...
almost got Satan. I remember that particularly.
She wasn't really coming after Satan, which was a good point. You were just in the way of her getting the fuck out when she knew the jig was up.
Yeah. Satan was just kind of like, I'm not doing anything right now. Nothing. Even though he's the one that made her whole jig get up in the first place, so.
Hey, Bacon, so, last positive, Toreador. Why would they like you?
I mean, he's still on the high clan, low clan mentality, so he shows a lot of respect to them and always trying to help them and work with them. Different with the other clans.
Yes, but the Toreador do move with the times a little more than Ventru, and you in particular.
Yeah. Again, it's hard to think why someone like him.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe give me a specific, if it fits really well.
I could say that of some of the places that he helped to capture, he recommended that the local prince accept Toreador as a sheriff.
So just like making... more like putting them forward for positions of authority where appropriate.
Yes.
Uh, okay, I think that works, but note down to each clan how many pluses or minuses there are. So I know if it's a positive or negative thing at a glance. Like, for example, this is how Epic noted it. Something like
Oh,
this.
yeah. I was going to put numbers, but that's better.
And okay, so I want two more things and then we can wrap up for the night. And next time we're gonna wrap up the Jackalor's things and the meetings with Jackalor and some historical things. So, I'm gonna want how Alan met Vivian and how Alan met what was his name, Halfdan. And I will want from each of you essentially two historical events where you have worked with some of the other party. And we're gonna just resolve how well you did on those with a single roll from each person involved. So, your thoughts on how, say, Vivian and Alan could have met?
Well, during their times on Europe, they probably met while walking on some courts. He had a very strong presence on France and England, so
Mm-hmm. Epic?
I'm not sure I understood exactly where he wanted us to meet up.
In
You
like
mentioned
some court in England or
some
France.
court. Okay.
Okay, under what
Uh,
circumstances?
Most of my time spent around there was mostly with my sire. So this would have been pretty early on.
Mm-hmm. I think at when you showed up there, Alan had already been a vampire for like a good 50 years, even if some of that was like even not counting the torpor part. So,
Yeah.
so
Because my early stage happens kind of more or less still in his early stage, but towards his mid stage.
I mean, he was already 70 years as a vampire, more or less, when you started
Yep.
faffing around in those areas. So he was essentially on Scylla level, theoretically, at that point.
Yeah. So he should have been somewhat high up, but he wasn't really like a primogen or anything, as far as I can tell.
No
Yeah.
way, not in Europe. He was just an established scrub.
So, well, unless he has a reason that she would go and talk to him at one of these courts, they would more of just be in each other's presence. I think he'd probably be staying around more often. Likely that she would come in and get introduced with her and her sire, and then stay around for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Well, essentially, I want to know what would have been your first major interaction.
That's why I'm putting it over to Bacon's court. Why would I end up having an interaction with you, Bacon?
it's hard to think at least on unless something very important happened. I mean, it would probably be presented to a lot of younger vampires that he had no need to interact with their low position.
You could have been temporarily assigned to help Vivian's sire with something.
That could work. His sire just ordered him to help Vivian Sire, and he ended up interacting with her.
You might have actually been requested at some point to see about helping us set up for a temporary stay in the city, possibly.
I mean, that's ghoul work, honestly. It would probably have been some sort of a mission or project. Like, you weren't that good at Dominate yet. I'm gonna say that he was probably requested to help bend some mortals to set Sire's will.
Okay.
And
All right then.
so you would have been helping read people, Epic, and Bacon
Yeah.
would have been figuring out how to actually use that to manipulate them in the most effective way. So give me perception, empathy, Epic, and give me manipulation, leadership, Bacon.
All right. I was completely focused on upping aspects at the time. Does that help at all right now?
That will give you at least a -1. You were pretty young, and we don't know exactly when it happened, but you would definitely have reached 2.
All right. And I have insightful. So
Mm-hmm. And Bacon. Okay. Do you have anything good on leadership? Or
Leadership. He has noble.
that really applies here.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not on this. This is more about mind control. We're playing with because this is a long campaign demi.
We
Okay.
already talked about this earlier, Demi.
Yeah, so the vendor you met was clearly competent and practiced, but the little girl, you remembered her for a long time, I think, with that kind of success.
Yeah.
She
It's
seemed
that weird.
really good.
That weird little girl that was so good at reading people.
Okay. And Alan meeting Halfdan.
Where would we have met?
In the wild,
that.
with him demanding satisfaction for embarrassing a kinsman.
I would probably just laugh at him and then turn around.
He charges you with his lance.
Yeah, that's what happened when you turn around.
I would like to remind you, I'm pretty sure you're also fairly young for a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta remember that. I wasn't as stanky as before.
Say them until like, let's see my timetable, between 1500 and 1650. Where were you?
1530. Wow, I was mostly in that time still in Scandinavia. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't have actually met you properly. There's only really 20 years from 1580 to 1600, but that still seems like not a lot of time.
Well, you only went over in 1690 to New World.
Yeah. No, I'm just answering Bacon's from 1500 to 1600.
Where are you on England? Anytime?
Yeah, I was primarily England, France, and Germany.
Give me a
Yeah.
second. I will compare the timelines. Yes, there's at least. Well, actually, you went to the New World in a similar time span. Demi, you went to the New World 20 years after Alan. So for like century and a half or so, you were in more or less the same place, or same general geographic area.
So we could have actually first met in the New World if you want that, Bacon.
There's no way. You would have run into each other in all that time. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, when you were in England, you probably found him out. He was very active on, at least, walking around on the courts and stuff like that.
I think you would have run into each other with Halfdan criticizing the Ventru and you trying to defend your clan's dignity, so Give me a contested charisma expression or charisma etiquette, whichever is higher for each of you.
Shit, I wish I got my specialties fucking in order now. God damn it.
Your own damn fault.
I know, it's my own damn fault. Would enchanting voice help here?
Yes, it probably would, you mocking asshole.
So
And
difficulty 4.
And would eloquent be a effective specialty?
Probably yes.
What?
Alan is just like cold marble, standing chin raised high. I do not consort with wild dogs, and I do not listen to their yapping. Just with this tone of a perfect fucking smackdown. That's how you first met.
That's an impression.
Yep.
Difficulty 4, eh, bitch?
I'm like the ones. Look at that shit. What the fuck?
The dice said nope. That day a dog was whipped.
Okay, so I probably remember him. Got the impression that that disrespectful little dog or something like that.
I mean, you weren't impressed by his performance that day, but eventually you would have noticed that he is good at communicating. It's just that that day his arguments were fatally flawed. And he went up against you, of course.
But he had a nice voice.
He also probably, I mean, I think that was somewhat to mitigate any kind of impression from how he treats Venture and stuff in general. I think he somewhat failed against that on Bacon.
No, it wasn't to mitigate. It's clear. Like, this is a matter of individuals, right?
Yes.
So, Alan probably has a mildly different than average view of Halfdan, since he knows Halfdan. But he knows that that day he rode to the defense of his clan and he fucking won. There was no contest. It was like peasants meeting a wall of lances. It didn't even slow down his charge.
Oh, that's great.
I think that's a valid comparison to Alan, because he probably sent peasants to the wall of bikes and, oh, that's not effective. Change of plan. Send the decent guys.
So anyway, feel free to note your first meetings and with the other characters in your backstories as well and how that went, because that's important to your characters', state of mind. Because these people are obviously going to be important in the campaign. And yeah, we can wrap it up here, and each of you, 2 ideas as to an event with some of or all of the other party members in which you've worked together, interacted, etc. And we'll resolve those next time. Also, Jackalor, I strongly suggest that you change your nature to conniver, because the way you described your actual story, you are a conniver, you are not an autocrat. Please, make your arguments to the contrary if you wish, or otherwise just fucking change it. Okay, good. Jackalor's entire thing is -4 with fucking Tremere because he keeps trying to steal shit. Actually, no, it's -2 with the other clans that own something. Or -3, like just went through and or hate him because he keeps trying to steal shit. But okay, I'm gonna end the recording here and I'll see you next week for Dark Heresy then. Some of you. Most of you. Jackalor, if you pull that kind of bullshit again, by the way, I will shoot you in the head. I might just make you wear an explosive collar. And yeah, pity we couldn't wrap this up today, but looking by the time it took for us to get this far, maybe 2 sessions of prep was just a little bit optimistic. I did expect things to proceed more apace, and I kind of overestimated your imaginations a little bit. And yeah, also blame Jackalor, but yeah. Next session we should wrap up the prep and we should most definitely start playing. So, in 2 weeks' time. And yeah, end recording here.